All right, guys, welcome back into Indiebnb. Today we are joined by Prince Alexander, aka PA from Philadelphia, PA. Prince, how we feeling today?
What up? What up? Everything's good. How you?
I'm great. I'm great. Excited to be talking with you, man. Um, you know, Obviously we got in touch through through social media and getting through that, and excited about just learn a little bit more about your music. I dove in, listened to some of the songs. A couple stood out: "Good Die Young," "Pain and Securities," "Ruin My Mood." But we'll dive into some of those a little bit later. But like, how did this whole thing get started? Like, how did you end up getting into hip hop and R&B?
Um, Honestly, it started with the opposite. It started, with my dad really. He wasn't I mean, back in the day, there were people called like audiophiles. And these guys, they didn't really know how to play instruments, but things were so different back then where they actually like when they were into it, when you're into it, when they were into an artist, they were actually into them. You have Deadheads and you have other kinds of people that follow different bands. And my father was no different. He listened to everything, but I grew up on like Pink Floyd, Prince, Michael Jackson, a lot of Sade, Bob Marley, and then also bands like Black Sabbath and stuff like that. Really heavy metal, and I got Motorhead tatted on me. That's my favorite band. So it started from there, and then my mom, she would listen to more of the pop, pop and rap stuff like 50 Cent, The Game,
Hmm.
Eminem. This is like 2003, 2004. We're talking where I first started actually like caring about music.
Yeah.
And I think it's because, my dad had such expensive like gear, like he collected gear, like speakers, and it was like an old school hobby that was going on back in the day. And um, it really benefited me because I think it developed my ear. And even at night, we wouldn't watch sports. We wouldn't watch movies. Like I never watched a movie till I was like 17. We only watched concerts, like live concerts. And I think that helped develop my ear and my stage presence as well, because that's literally, and the music's blaring loud. In the kitchen, it's that pop and wraps up very loud. And then in the living room, my dad's playing like whatever he's playing at an extremely loud volume. So I was just so used to the I was just so used to just the DB, the loudness of everything, and I think that's where I really got my start. That's like where it's in my blood and in my heart. But as far as myself, I got my start probably. I wanted to start doing this around like 2009, 2010, and I think everyone around that time wanted to be Lil Wayne because that was my favorite rapper, and he's still one
Yeah.
of my favorite rappers. Like as I get older, I start to appreciate the people that inspired me even more. Like I don't just go to the next hot thing. I'm
Yeah.
kind of just like stuck at the people that I like, and I let real life motivate me. But yeah, around like 2010, 2011, it was probably because of Lil Wayne. Um, Definitely, I wanted to be him. Like I wanted to do everything like him because I'm short. I'm 5'6", 5'7". So like, just he was putting on for the short guys. Him and Kendrick. Honestly, Kendrick Lamar too, because I've been listening to him since he was K Dot. And he inspired me a lot as well. And, as I got older, Kanye, obviously, like when 808s and Heartbreaks came out, that's like when I started to really get into audio engineering and production and everything because I love autotune. Like I honestly like what made me want to do it was that album 808s and Heartbreaks, and I just loved the sound of it, and that's what got me into it, with
Yeah.
especially as far as the technical side. Like how the fuck is he achieving this shit? It's awesome. Like like why are you so paranoid? Like I love that song,
Yeah.
and that really got me going. And then when Watch the Throne came out, I was like, oh shit! Like I've had a good ear, and I really have studied this shit. And I don't. I'm hip hop. I paid my dues. Like I started out, my first show. It was like a showcase for AR free ad by the way, but that was like in the middle of the city, and like I was just so nervous. Like I'm not from the inner city, so like just being accepted down there was so difficult. And in the last 5 years, I've finally been able to do that because of my skill and my performance level and production level. And in the last 3 years, as I've started making my own beats, like I don't just go off YouTube anymore. Like making
Yeah.
music is a whole process to me now. And that's why I don't push out. Like I used to make 10 to 12 songs a week. Now I may not make a song a week
Yeah.
because there's so much energy that it takes to create the beat, and like I have to feel it. Like now my music is realer than ever. You know, when you're growing up and like you're trying to like get this skill set of like songwriting and rapping, it's very easy to cap. But now that I'm like, it's my career and I'm in it, daytime and night, it's a lifestyle, and I don't want to give anything other than like the real and of what I'm feeling, and I've evolved as well. I'm not that same guy that's just gonna pop off at anything. I've noticed and I've understood that like maybe the target audiences and like stuff that I was seeking, they weren't like I should have never seeked that.
Yeah.
I have my own lane, and now it's starting to open up now because of the kind of music I'm releasing. Like I don't want to make it before I had like a little bit of arrogancy about me. Like, of course, I'm always confident, I still am, but I was like, why should people listen to me if I'm so fucking arrogant? And I feel like now in 2023, I can just be myself, and just be normal, like how I am, whether it's my friend or a random person, I'm the same way. And I think people are resonating to that finally. They're
Gotcha.
like, damn, like, all right, like he's figuring himself out as well. Not only his career and what he wants to do. I feel like people always knew I was talented, but they were waiting for that moment for me to just grow up a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think I'm a little bit grown now, I'm matured a little bit.
I like it. I like it. A lot to unpack there. Like, I think number one, you're obviously influenced by, that is a unique and a diverse, as any hip hop person could probably say, is like, hey, like I listen to Black Sabbath, Motorhead, I love rock and roll, but then also, getting into, the obviously the music that shaped me. I lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana when the Carter 3 came out, or yeah, no, when the first the Carter 2 came out, then I lived in, I was still ingrained in that. So I'm
Yeah,
very like
man.
shaped by Lil Wayne and love that guy. So, but you mentioned audio engineering. Are you currently like, is that something you do just for yourself, or do you do that for other people? Like, is
Now
that
I have hundreds of clients as well.
yeah,
And they're like my little babies, man. I love them all,
yeah,
and I really wish them the best of success. Um, you know, I started out just doing it at my house, trying to budget correctly, because I was spending thousands at the studio a month, man, and like
yeah,
it adds up after a while. But I also felt like because I just didn't feel like I was legitimately doing it because like I wasn't engrossed in the music. I was just like taking this beat off YouTube and allowing my ego to just say some words over it that don't mean anything.
mhm,
So, one with audio engineering, that was a skill that I needed to learn, which I feel like every artist should really know how to do that in 2023. Like just the basics. You don't have to mix all your shit, but like you
yeah,
can't always get in the studio. And a lot of these records are not made in the studio. They're just made on like wherever they're at. And you can't have any excuses. So I've been doing that for about 3 to 4 years. And then I actually got hired by the studio that I used to go to called Rotation Records in Norristown. And they really baby me, man. They've treated me really well. And I take it very seriously. When I'm in that engineer seat, it's all about the client. It
yeah,
has nothing to do with me. I want to make sure that they feel like the star. And I do it because it's a way of giving back as well for me, because I continue in my artistry and stuff like that. And I've had some dope shit and I've had a dope career so far, but obviously I'm not where I want to be exactly yet. So it
mhm,
humbles me when I talk to these young hungry cats, and I just see how much energy they have towards it. So it inspires me. Um and then it's just learning to deal with people, and you also realize that like I'm able to separate Prince Alexander from Alex, just the engineer and
yeah,
producer. um I'm just able to separate it, and it's a fine balance, but I love it, you know what I mean, because there's no better feeling than helping somebody else, and trying to see something in someone that they may not have even saw in themselves.
yeah. That's awesome. I think like, being able to kind of pay it forward in that way, and like, as good things come to you, and as good things are as you were helping people, like that's gonna, all coming back around to you, in your career. So Prince Alexander, is that, something, what's in the name there, or did you come up with that?
Yeah,
You mentioned
so
Prince is
yeah,
the,
Alexander is my name. My middle name is
yeah.
Alexander, and it's actually like I originally am from Kansas City, Missouri. Go Chiefs! And I lived there till I was 7, 8, and I was Alex there. My first
Hmm.
name is Vivek, and when I moved to PA, like first day of school, like what's your name? And I said Vivek. They immediately put me in like ESL and shit. Like English was my second language. That's how
Oh
stupid
no.
they were. But it's fine. Anyways, just because I said my name was Vivek, if I would have said it
Yeah.
was Alex, and then so I was Vivek, during high school and all that stuff. That was just my name. It is my first name. And then as I started working, getting jobs, I just thought it would be easier to just go by Alexander or Alex when it is
Yeah.
my name. Um, and the reason why it's Prince Alexander is actually from Lil Wayne's song, like Hustler Music, when he was like, "Shall be who I be, that's me. Sometimes I want to drop a tear, but no emotions from a king." You know what I mean? When he was talking about his dad, and that's how I feel too, because my dad passed at a young age too, at 17. So I never felt like I was a king, and I do feel like all kings get their heads cut off. And I'm the youngest in my family, anyways, and I'm an only child too. So like I've always been babied, and
Yeah.
that's why it's Prince Alexander. It's not necessarily anything to do with royalty. It's more or less a homage to my father, and just
Hmm.
I don't think I'll ever be like the man he was. You feel me? So Prince Alexander, and then it's turned into PA, and it's PA from PA. You know?
I love it. I love it. So, you moved to Philly when you said you were about 8. So, you've been in Philly and ingrained in that for a while. You mentioned the scene and being able to, you go to a showcase for your first one. Like, talk to you about that moment. Like, whenever you're like, all right, I'm about to go out in front of this crowd I don't know, and
Well,
is this
first
the
of
first
all,
time
there was like 10
performing?
people there. It wasn't a crowd. It was at a fucking bar.
Like,
But either way, it was just it was a lot of nerves and stuff like that. And my music was just trash at that point. But one thing about me though, is I never had fear. And a lot of people take my confidence as arrogance, but it's just supreme confidence. And I really feel myself in my mind, soul, and body as well. Um, I've never not had confidence. That's probably one of the big reasons why I'm still here, is because
yeah.
no matter what you say about me or what you think about me, the one thing you can't say is that he doesn't work hard. And that's the
Yeah.
only thing that matters in music these days. I don't really care about talent. I want to know how good of a person you are, and how much integrity do you have behind those words, and how much are you willing to invest into them, into yourself. And it's not about the money, it's about the time. That's why
Yeah.
you see a lot of artists give up, is because you know they don't have a good they don't have good organization skills. And it's something that I'm really working on as I get older. I have a routine in my life, and I think that, since I've implemented a lot of these new tactics, I had to adapt into the 2023 way of, getting heard. And since I've adapted, investing in myself within ads and using TikTok and just making sure my visibility is at a high, I've just noticed that I've gained more fans compared to like back in the day where it's like, all right, I got to get this shit to the blogs. I got to get on World Star. It's none of that. It's everything's for free. It's just about the time that you spend doing it. And I've been carving out time, and I'm finally seeing good results, especially with Good Die Young going into Pain and Insecurities. I think that I'm finally like seeing like the results that you want to see, um, as organically as an artist.
Mhm.
I've been to the labels before. I've been to Sony. I've been to Atlantic. They all told me the same thing. They're all saying, if this was 10 years ago, obviously you would have had a developmental contract. You're that good. However, you don't have a big enough buzz yet. And so that's what I'm working on right now. I need to make sure
Yeah.
that my Spotify is up to 80,000 monthly, and real. Like they can tell if it's fake. They can, I need to make sure it's all real. And that's what I've been focused on. And I've been doing it through
Mhm.
ads and different forms of marketing. And I've been investing into myself. And every person counts that listens to my music. And since I've been more grateful and more thankful, and approaching it this way, I've gained a lot more fans too. Because I think it's relatable, not only for regular people, but artists as well. They could be like, damn, like There is a way to do it. You don't have to just do some clout shit. There's a method to this madness.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I totally see you eye to eye there with like, any artist we talk to, they're always about, hey man, like this is like for them, it's like one of our guys lost his following on Instagram, and like he had like a 8,000, 10,000, I think 10,000 followers. They shut his account down. They had he's trying to build his new account back up, but it was hurting him getting gigs. And so I think like those types of steps that you have there, you're taking up like, hey, I'm marketing myself. I'm working every angle I can to get organic following and driving people to hear my stuff. Like that is exactly what it's all
Yeah,
about
I'm done.
nowadays.
I'm absolutely done taking shortcuts. There's
Yeah.
no shortcut. There is literally no shortcut.
Nope.
And I see this every day because I have so many clients, and they'll pay for views and they'll pay for likes. And at the end of the day, like I had a homie, this is one of my good friends. I'm not gonna say his name, but we went to a show, a couple in November, and he has a lot of followers and a lot of likes. And we were at the show, and I just asked him, I went to support him, and I just said, man, like, where your fans at? Ain't nobody here to see you. You have 1,000 likes on the fucking flyer post, but where the fans at?
Yeah.
It just makes you look bad at the end of the day, and it's
Hmm.
bad for your mental health too. So, there's no more cap. I can't sit here and say I haven't, paid playlist companies and shit before, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm adapting to what it is in 2023. And it's actually a good thing because it's less money that you spend, but it's more time that you need to dedicate to it with content and stuff. And I'm not really too great behind the camera, but I'm getting more confident every day. I'm really good on stage. That's where I turn up. But
Yeah.
like, just like making some of these content, at first it was cringe, but now it's become part of my routine.
Yeah.
So it's good. It feels good. Finally, it feels good.
Yeah. Well, I want to kind of switch gears here. You mentioned the song earlier. Pain and Insecurity. This is your new one out. You just released it. When did it come out?
Yeah, February 24th.
February 24th. So, oh, yeah, all right. So we're like
Yeah,
right
just
4 days
released
out.
it. Yeah, and I love the reception that I'm getting from it. I made the song with my man Batman. He's a producer out of South Philly, and he's one of the best, man. I just love working with him. Me and him have great chemistry. He's somebody that I can go to, that I trust his engineering, because
Hmm.
I'm pretty good at engineering. Like, this is what I do. Like, it's not like I don't use any presets. I literally do it from scratch every time. But he's somebody that can get a sound out of me where I don't have to try, and I can just be an artist. So whenever we link up, we make some great music, and it's good
Hmm.
vibes. So he really helped spark that off. His Instagram is at DCX Batman.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
At DCX Batman.
Yeah.
So, what whenever you're writing the song, and talk about what goes into that. Like, how does it become, from, obviously we got the engineering part of it, but I want to talk lyrics as far as like, how do you come up from zero to start with the lyrics and from, or I guess, zero to finished product? Like, how did you come up with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lyrics?
I mean, it starts off with obviously making the beat, and by the time that I have my chords and my bass line down, I'm already thinking of the melody anyways, and I don't write anything down. I'm like one of those guys. Yeah, you know what I mean? But like,
Uh,
I'm getting, like, before I would just, like, I haven't picked up a pen in maybe 3, 4 years, but
mhm.
like, I'm getting so much better at actually saying something now when I punch in. Um I first get the melody in my head, but really it's just off the top, really. And um I just really think hard about, like, the whys and the details. Like, if I'm talking about this remote, what button am I pressing to change the channel? What channel am I going to? What's on the TV? Oh, the battery's broken. Like, there's just so much to songwriting, and I try to think of it like that now. I don't try to just think of a rhyme anymore. I try to think of like painting an image, more or less. Like, I try to imagine the fucking, I imagine it as a visual before I even, like, say the words.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think like that's intense. I mean, like, you haven't written anything down. I mean, like, I can't. I'm the most visual person you'll ever meet. I got to write everything down. I mean, I got a pad and paper right here, but you being able
Yeah.
to kind of create it with your head. I mean, like, and just be able to think about it and like, all right, like create that image in front of you to rap about. I mean, like
Yeah,
that's
and I
that's
always like
that's
throw on
skill.
something. I always throw on something on the TV, like some sports or something. I really look up to like athletes. Like, is this like I feel like an athlete when I'm doing this shit because like
Mm,
it's really like I'm so focused and honed into my process, that I can
mhm.
get things done really quick. But I don't bullshit anything, man. There's not one song where I bullshit it. If the song is halfway done, we're getting the whole thing done. There's no halfway shit with me, and I take it very seriously. And like I said before, some people they can't handle that energy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I've had so many people come up to me even recently and tell me like, bro, like you're something else in the studio. But I'm making an effort not to be that guy.
mhm.
I'm not as aggressive. I'm cool, man. Like I want people to like me. I don't want people to be like intimidated by me. Like I feel like those artists really have a slim chance of making it now because you know there's so many different kinds of people in the world and hip hop's becoming more open to everyone that you can't really like be that fake tough guy anymore.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying?
There's a lane. There's a lot of lanes now. It's not
Exactly.
just one lane. Not just one
Exactly.
lane.
Yeah, like I want people to love me. I don't want people to be
Yeah.
like, oh, like, yeah, his music's cool, but he's a dick. I don't want that anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Well, you mentioned a little bit of live, live sets you've done. Anything coming up as far as touring wise or anything like that you
Yeah,
got going on?
yeah, like after these I have like 3, 4 more singles that are coming in the next couple months.
Mhm.
Um, and then I'm looking to have a show this summer. I don't really intend to doing touring until, I build up a even greater buzz. I've done so many shows in my life. I've done so many shows. But now I'm not focused on doing the shows anymore. I want to create an experience for people. When you come to the
Yeah,
Prince Alexander show, I don't want it to just be like a fucking showcase of all these artists. I want it to be well curated, well designed, like the set
yeah,
design be real beautiful, have a purpose for this show. Everything that I do has a purpose now. I'm not just gonna go fucking do a show for no goddamn reason anymore.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll go if I had an opportunity, maybe I'll go do a show this week for Pain and Insecurities. But at the same time, I'm just building up. I really truly believe, we're having this talk right now. It's March 1st. I think if we speak again by summer, I know my numbers will be even greater than they are right now. And at that point, I'll feel ready to, talk about touring and, big
I don't-
shows and stuff like that. I've just done so many that I realize the point of doing shows now. You got to
Yeah,
there has to be a reason for doing it. I'm beyond the stage of just like going to hone my skills. The skills are there now. Like we're good. There has to be a purpose for me being on that stage.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've worked with so many dope companies that create dope experiences, private events, free events. Um, I'm very inspired by all that. So yeah, like when I do step back on the stage, I want it to be epic. I want it to be like everything that it deserves to be. I have a band and everything too. So we're always prepared. And the best part about it is everybody in the band has their own music as well. And they're striving just like me. All of my best friends, we're not in the same lane, but we all are striving. Like my homie Zim, he just performed at the Charlotte Hornets game. It's fucking unbelievable, and we don't step on each other's toes. Great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, all right, we'll be looking forward to that. Coming soon. So you got 3 to 4 more singles coming out coming months. So we'll be looking for those as well.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'll tell you this, man, you're like one of the few people I've ever told this, but like you know, how what 50 Cent like the Kanye line like 50 said, go ahead, switch your style up, and you know what I mean?
yeah,
You're about to witness a whole transformation with me as well. Um, I have a whole project that's done. It's called When the Moon Turns Dark, and it's a pop album. I'm singing all over that shit. No rapping. I'm singing. I produced the whole thing. It's like my version of 808s and Heartbreaks. Takes place in a dystopian world where basically like, if a nuclear bomb went off, all the rich people go to the sky and somehow I managed to like hitch on to that fucking rocket ship that's in the sky, but I'm gonna save the world through my music. So it's like a whole like thing that I want to get done. And that's what I want to do with shows. Like I want it to be an
Yeah.
experience for people. You know what I mean? I want to create the story. And that's another big thing that I'm focused on is telling my story and creating stories. And I think that's really a big part of resonating with fans and stuff like that. Like, okay, like people sound cool, people look cool, you know, people are very talented, but who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just where I'm at with it. Like, I love just the background, the stories, and you know, that's where I'm at with it. I'm over like I'm over the honeymoon phase of music. Like, I need to feel something.
Yeah. I think, it's funny. You couldn't be more polar opposite in the approach to music as far as like just, he's this guy about thinking about Timothy Edward Carpenter. I went and saw him in a bookstore, and like before every song, there was a story behind it. And then that made me more invested, way more invested in the song after hearing the background. Hey, this one was for my wife. Here's he was talking about just a raw emotional time for him, how what he was inspired by, and then he was talking about talk about the song and play it. And like I think as you tell a story within your music and be able to have that theme throughout, I think it just latches people on further and gets them more invested. So you're excited to see the pop album. So When the Moon Turns Dark, pop album. Do we have a date, or are we coming soon? We can
Coming
throw it
soon,
coming soon.
maybe October, maybe.
Okay,
It's just
gotcha.
I have a lot of work that I want to do to it. I have some like gear that I'm gonna borrow and rent. I'm gonna add some, some legendary synthesizers. Like some of the gear that I have access to, some of like the legends use them. Like Prince actually used the synthesizer, so I want to
Wow.
add that to it. And then I got like I got some pretty dope mastering engineers working on it too, like people who are Grammy winners. And like I'm excited about that. Every fucking song costs like 1,000 to goddamn master, but
Yeah,
I'm excited about it. And like it's gonna be fun to perform live. It's really gonna
yeah,
be like people are gonna feel that shit.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, I want you to feel this next part of the interview. Pete Peterson's party pack of
Okay.
questions. We're coming in hot. It's going to be a this or that. Very quickly. It's going to be rapid fire. I hope you're ready.
Yeah,
Here
I'm
we
ready.
go. Cake or pie?
Pie,
Salad or soup?
soup,
Would you rather hit a home run or score a winning touchdown?
winning touchdown,
Touchdown. All right. Sunrises or sunsets?
sunrise,
All right. Are you more likely to do a night in or a night out?
a night in.
Night in. If you were to go out and you walked into your party and your jam came on, a Millie comes on, something you're going to dance to, are you more likely to do the robot or the worm?
The robot,
Robot. I like it. I like it. Guac or queso at your local Mexican spot?
guac,
It's a guac guy. I like it. Waffles or pancakes?
damn. I'd say waffles.
Waffles. All
Yeah,
right. You need to come down south and you get some Waffle House. That'll be
hell
good
yeah.
for you.
I've never been to a
Um,
Waffle House.
oh man. All right. Well,
Yeah,
when you're in the city, come on, we're
for
going.
sure.
Coffee or tea?
T,
Dogs or cats?
both.
Both. All right. Ninja or pirate? What do you like more? What do you identify?
Ninja, ninja, all
Ninja.
black, everything.
I like it. I like it. Gatorade or Powerade after a long show?
I go with Gatorade,
Gatorade. All right. Toast or bagels in the morning?
toast,
Chips or pretzels?
chips,
Chips. All right. Fries or tots?
tots,
Tots. All right. You like the tots. When you sit down, are you going to watch a TV show on Netflix or a movie on Netflix?
TV show.
TV show for sure. All right. Are aliens real?
Absolutely, you're talking to one.
Is Bigfoot real?
You want to know something? You want to know something?
Yeah.
Anything that I feel like anything that we imagine is real.
Yeah.
You know,
Good legs.
I think anything that we imagine is real. Seriously, everything is real.
Okay, I like it. Is love at first sight real? So I'm assuming
No.
yes. No.
No.
Oh man.
That
All
shit
right.
ain't real. It's lust at first sight. It's always lust at first sight. There's no such thing as love at first sight. You got to
Yeah.
learn to love somebody. If you don't have to learn if you want to fuck somebody though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can take one look and you know
Yeah,
fast.
like I want to fuck that person. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Give us a couple artists that we might not know that are maybe local Philly, maybe people you want to put on,
Sure.
people that we need to check out.
Yeah,
Shoot
the
a
first
shoot
guy is
over.
my boy Zim. That's XIIIM. It's one of my best friends. He's a god in this music shit. He's a mixture of Jimi Hendrix and Lenny Kravitz and Rick James. All mixed.
Whoa.
I'm Charlie Murphy in the story. I'm Charlie Murphy, basically, if you ever watched Chappelle's show.
So he's better than you at basketball?
He's not better than me at basketball, but he is certainly, he is one of a kind. He's one of the most talented people I've ever saw in my life, and I'm so glad to call him my friend. Second guy, his name is Kilo the Artist. He's from Congo. He moved over to Philly in the Pennsylvania maybe like 6 years ago. I've actually been working with him for like 5 years through a family friend through their African church. One of my old heads brought him to me and was like, "Yo, take care of him. He wants to do music. We've been working for 5-6 years. He's really doing good for himself. Yeah, I love doing his music and engineering it. It's awesome."
All right, so we got Zim and Kilo the Artist, Kilo.
Yep. And then one more person is my boy Thomas J. He is he's in a band called Boys, BOIS, and he's also my coworker, but he's one of the most talented people I know. He can play every single instrument and his voice is absolutely amazing.
Wow. All right, so we got Zim, Kilo the Artist, and Thomas J of Boys, BOIS.
Yes.
I love it. Love it. We're going to check them out. Everybody else, check out Prince Alexander. Go on his streaming platform areas, whether that's Apple Music, Spotify. He's all on those places. Listen to Pain and Insecurities. It just came out. Listen to Good Die Young. Listen to, Ruin My Mood. Any of these, any of these singles he's got. And he's got 3 to 4 more coming out with a pop album somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
When the moon turns dark. So if I'm missing anything, you let me know.
No, man, that's about it. And we're gonna ease it in, and I'm dropping the music video for Pain and Insecurities very soon.
Right.
I think March 17th I'll drop that. So I'm excited to drop that. And yeah, man, I'm excited for the next single too. Each song is getting more fun. I started the year off sad, Pain and Insecurities, a little bit emotional. This next song, it's got a little bit of bounce to it. Spring break vibes for sure.
I love it. You'll be arriving just in time for that time for everybody. So awesome. Well, Prince Alexander, thank you so much for stopping by the Indiebnb today. Look forward to keeping up with you and best of luck in every endeavor, man.
I appreciate it, man. Let's talk very soon. Thanks for having me.
Love it. You got it.